What's up, internet? It's me, it's Kyle. How's it going? This is part one of our Post-it anniversary special. The experience has been here for 6 months, and I've been in this chair for almost all of it, and my butt really hurts. So, joining me today to help me through this 6-month anniversary is my oft-times co-conspirator, and generally the other person who makes this thing go around. She's our social media person who's in charge of all of that, and she's the one who makes sure we all do our jobs so that we can come to you live. I am joined by Jena.
Hi. And it's
of the
mostly just
two-handed
yelling
wave.
and claps.
Yes. As opposed to the two-handed wave. And we are here with our first guest of the day, a person who I think most often we get mistaken for brothers, if not lovers, but one of my greatest friends and someone that I love so very, very much, great creator and artist, Jarett Walen.
Hi, that was such a nice introduction.
It's true.
Probably nicer than I deserve, but I'll take it.
We look very similar when we're in public together.
It's the good looks.
It is like
Beard.
we are a vibe. So, it's one of those things. So, Jena, I'm sure you did your research on Jarett.
Oh no!
Jena's a researcher.
Was I supposed to have this giant piece of paper of notes and stuff on everybody?
Yeah. Jena's a researcher. But I want to start. I want to start with this.
Ad-lib. I'll ad-lib today.
I want you guys to talk for a minute. Jarett, what color is your beard at the moment?
It's like it's supposed to be like a bright blue, but it turned more of a weird teal, and it's kind of coming out.
It does look good. Yeah. It brings the whole look together. Matches.
It's kind of like a denim color.
I like it.
Yeah.
Jena, what color is your hair?
It's supposed to be, so the name on the bottle is Wrath, and I mixed it with another one called Poison.
Awesome.
By Arctic Fox. I absolutely love them. They do this deep conditioner for your hair, but it's color depositing.
And an interesting story about me is the reason I don't have any hair is that I killed it when I dyed my hair black for a play. But because my hair was so like light, it turned bright blue, almost like the color of blue highlighter.
I bet that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school. I had to go to school one day with it, and none of my teachers could look at me in the face. I got out of homework and tests and stuff because teachers were like, "You can't be here. You got to go." So let's talk about real quick, like that kind of identity idea. So, Jarett, how does Jena does her hair, you do your beard, you wear a unicorn horn at a lot of conventions.
I also curl my mustache, but now
you do curl your mustache,
which I'm not good at. I just like to do it, and it looks fun.
Right. I need to shave my mustache. My barber retired, and I'm all out of sorts. So, but let's talk about branding a little bit. So, how have you, Jarett, as an artist, kind of established your brand? It's a weird question to start with, but
it is, because I don't even know if I have. Like, I guess I have. Like, I guess my brand is always, I try to be fun and colorful in everything I put out, at least artistically, and how I present myself at shows. I always pick the most colorful, goofy shit that I can to wear, that I wear at conventions. Like, I had cheetah print shorts on at the last one I was at.
Aww.
And a Jaws t-shirt or tank top. Like, I was definitely looking hot.
I wish I had pictures. I want to see this.
I think I've got some. I'll have to look. But I think with everything I do, I just try to make it bright, colorful, fun. I try not to do anything that's going to insult anyone or cultures, or I try to do art that I think makes the world a better place. And I think I try to revolve my whole shtick around that. Like, I wear the unicorn horn because it's fun. It makes people smile and laugh. You know, every kid that walks by is super excited. You know, it's like I just want to leave the world a little happier than I started in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I mean, I walk by the unicorn horn and like I have to boop it when I go by it. Like, I have to.
He does, like every time. Like he'll be sprinting by the show and he'll stop just to beep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
You
man,
know,
that's
and
so much fun.
so the other thing that Jarett is, and it's of relevance, is that he's the person I run a lot of my design decisions by, so he can tell me they're no good before I go back and redo them.
It's true, he does. I've been in design a long time, so
yeah.
I kind of know what I'm talking about. I'm not great by any means, but I have an okay eye.
Yeah. So how does your regular work in terms of design and you work with a lot of brand aesthetics and that kind of stuff. How does that affect your art?
Well, like, so what I've learned over the years, because I do front-end web development for my day job, which is basically the pretty side of code, making everything look nice. What I've learned through that does apply to art is that brand stuff can be very important down to like the teeniest of details. And even that can even be in just like the right spacing throughout and having to pay attention to those little tiny gaps or, anything like that. Like it gives you a lot of spatial awareness because you're building a web page that has to look, good and not be, if your spacing starts to get off, things like that, then it's going to make the whole thing look off. So with art, it's kind of the same thing. If you don't have a good composition, it's not going to come across right. And if you have to explain what your art is doing, then you're probably not conveying the message you want to. And it's the same thing with websites. If you're not displaying your content properly, you're not going to display the proper message. So I think like that's kind of the connection between. It helps me get some logic into the creative.
Logic. It's always nice to have.
It is, especially today.
Today is not the day for logic. It's this. It's the madness and the chaos. It's what we live off of.
Oh, for sure.
Right. So, the experience is on TikTok, and you're on TikTok. I love your TikToks because so often they feature your pets, and your pets are the best.
They are.
So what made you decide that you wanted to be a TikToker?
So I had not wanted to use TikTok for a long time because, it was the new hot thing. I didn't care, whatever. But then my wife Jackie got on it, and she was constantly trying to laugh at things, or like I was missing out on jokes she was getting that were on Reddit and whatnot. And then she started showing me more, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll get it. And in getting it and like tailoring it to myself, I started to learn an awful lot about me. Like I discovered I have ADHD this year and got diagnosed and everything. And it's like, holy moly, my whole life is totally different. But the thing about the creators on TikTok is they're so genuine, and like it really shows you that you don't need Hollywood for people to be hilarious and awesome and leave an impact on you and entertain you with whatever content they're putting out there. You see how great the world is, and you can really connect, I think, to that. And I just kind of, I want to be part of that. Like I want to be part of something that's more genuine than whatever crap people put on Facebook, or just having to show like, here's my pretty pictures on Instagram. Nobody's reading my captions because it doesn't matter. I think it's a great place to not only show yourself, but whatever it is you do.
This is how we know that TikTok matters. Applebee's announced this week that they're changing their menu because of a TikTok trend. They're adding the Oreo shake back, and they've signed a deal for natural light to be on tap in every one of their stores because of that stupid trend.
I was really, really hoping you were going to say they were going to decide to add some flavor to their food.
Oh my gosh!
Well,
Never.
You can only ask so much.
True.
One step at a time. One step at a time.
Yeah, absolutely. So welcome to the ADHD club, my friend.
Yeah, I know, right? It's so
I have
wild.
ADD. Does that count?
Well, just so you guys know, I learned on TikTok that it's not called ADHD anymore. It's called Dave.
What's dopamine, something.
Dopamine averse, something.
Yeah.
Well, Jarett and I have a mutual friend who Jarett works a lot with, and I work a lot with, named Dave. So I like to say I'm having a bad Dave day and tag him in it. So.
Yes, definitely. It likes to, my brain just likes to go sometimes. That's just how life is these days, isn't it?
Yeah, but
it's fun.
yeah.
How does that help you with your like creativity and with your art and stuff?
So I think with art it helps me because I can come up with a million ways to do something in a very short amount of time. And the hyper focus part of ADHD makes art last all day. I can lose entire days to arting around, and I love it because it like when especially once I get past like creating the forms and doing all the line work, then it's just coloring, and coloring is just like my zen. And like that's where hyper focus really takes over, and everything. I'm not thinking anymore. Everything is just all the experiences that I've had coming out in every little touch, and it's the best. It's the best time.
Yeah, it really is. When I paint, when I have days off, which is rare nowadays, these guys keep me busy all the time, but I still love it. Love all of them 99% of the time. But when I do get a chance, I sit down and I paint and I sketch shit out, and then it's just like I focus, and that's where I'm at. There's like nothing else around me, and that's all it is, and everything falls apart. And then all of a sudden, you look at the window and it's dark.
Yeah.
I was like, what happened here?
Uh-huh.
It was. I just made breakfast for my nieces. What happened?
One of the first time I ever tried painting with a VR headset, like 3D painting, I spent 8.5 hours in it, almost solid. I came out once and I couldn't believe how long it was just I just get so into it.
Yeah.
Like my brain just cares nothing about anything else going on.
Nice.
It's the best. It's the happiest time.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of Applebee's, what other sort of like restaurants and foods and stuff do you like to like go out to eat or like make at home?
I hate cooking anymore. It's always something simple.
The wrong person.
It's always something simple like burgers or hot dogs or spaghetti or like something with chicken or like, but we like to get takeout from Tropical Smoothie a lot because their wraps and stuff are just so good and their smoothies are awesome.
Nice.
My wife does a lot of like Soylent meals, so it just like it's like a powder or like a drink, meal replacement drink.
Oh, okay.
And on days she's not feeling like eating, then I'll like cook up a couple eggs. I like to make eggs a million different ways. I mean, nothing fancy, but like it's just whatever I've got around, I'll throw in a burrito with some eggs and.
Nice. I can tell you right now, I'm super jealous. My husband absolutely hates the smell of eggs because he was forced to eat them a lot when he was younger. So I never get to cook eggs at home. So what I'll do is I'll cook up some maple bacon or some peppered bacon and then put the eggs in that grease. And then he can't smell the eggs at all. It just smells like maple bacon or peppered bacon.
Nice.
And then I'm always cooking at home. I'm making gumbo, beef stew, all kinds of stuff. Oh, I absolutely love it.
I hate cooking. I don't know if I hate cooking or I hate my kitchen. I bought a house with a kitchen that's just not great. It seemed good when we bought it, and then the more we used it, we're like, it's too small. The storage sucks.
Yeah,
it's just a mess.
You just gotta make do with what you got, right?
Yeah.
So, what have you been like working on recently? Is there anything that you could like tell us about?
Yeah. So I have my first issue. My first issue of my comic. My first 2 issues came out almost 2 years ago now. Weight of Gravity. Ooh. And the prequel came out in the Get in the Game anthology.
I think we had that at our store.
Yeah. Yep, it was. It for sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's mine. So I had started doing number 2, like right after number 1. When else would you do number 2? Before?
Oh, after you do number 3. Come on, man.
Makes sense. So I started working on number 2. I'm probably 75% of the way done before I just stopped. And I stopped due to the pandemic when that hit.
Okay.
It was just I stopped being creative at all for like 6 months. I just couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
didn't draw anything for 6 months, which is so bizarre for me. But once I picked it back up, I was fine.
Yeah.
But in that time, I also thought a lot about what I had done for issue 2, and I realized I wasn't terribly happy with it. It was I could tell I was rushing through the early story beats to get to the ones I really wanted to.
Yeah.
And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that doing an entire comic by myself is just not gonna work. So my plan, I'm currently halfway through rewriting the original novel that I wrote the comic off of.
Okay.
And my plan is to do a series of short novels with illustrations to accompany.
Ooh.
Maybe some comic panels throughout. Like, I'm not sure. I want to do something different that's unique to me, that feels right for my story. Because I don't feel like I can tell it right without showing some visuals too. Okay. And I don't want that to be limited to just a book cover. And with digital self-publishing, it's so easy to do it the way I want to. So that's in the works. I'm hoping that I can get the first draft done by the end of probably this year at this point, and hopefully get it out sometime early, like within probably the first 6 months of next year, the first half. So by like summer of next year, I'm hoping that comes out. Another thing I'm doing that I do every month is I have a Patreon that people can sign up for, where they get, where everybody gets to vote on 3 characters that I draw a month, and then you can sign up to get stickers, postcards, or prints, 8.5 by 11 prints, or 4 by 6 postcards, or like 5-inch stickers. It's cheap, it's fun, and I just really love doing it. People get some cool art from me, and I get to make some fun characters that I wouldn't have thought of, or just ones I really wanted to draw, but I just needed like that push.
Yeah.
Someone to say, you have to do this now.
Oh. We also got a question from Sean Butler. I'm going to put it up for you.
Sure.
Where do you find a lot of your inspiration comes from? Is it different depending on if you are writing or drawing?
So, oh man, this is interesting to answer. So like, I feel like inspiration comes from everywhere. At a certain point, I learned to observe life outside of like just like being a human in it. Like, as an artist, I was watching everything for the shapes and the simple contours and the ways I can remember like how I would draw that once I sit down. Okay. But that also taught me to kind of look at life in terms of how could this be a good story. And my wife one day was challenging me because she has some fun, I wouldn't call them fun, fears that she's not a fan of. Like, she fears sinkholes and meteors.
Well, that's things that you should be afraid of.
True, but I always told her, like, think if you don't want to think about it and it bothers you, think of it in terms of like a story. How can you frame it in a story that makes it better or just diverts your thought altogether? And she said, I don't know how you can make a fun story out of a meteor smashing the planet. So I did, and that's what The Weight of Gravity is about. It starts off with the opening panel shows Earth smashed to bits. So I start out a whole story with a fear based on the Earth being blown up. And I think you can find, and what I'm trying to say, I think, is that you can find inspiration anywhere if you want to look for it.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for different things, that just fun ideas, and thinking through weird ideas all the time, or telling me, like, I'll pick up a little bit something from so on TikTok that I see a lot of people talking about like outer consciousness, sort of, like we are just meat sacks. We are not these meat sacks. We are something else in here. Yeah. There's like an external realm for consciousness. And so I just thinking about that, I took that and wrote a short, like 3-paragraph story about how this guy figures out that we actually are that, but like these bodies are meant as like a prison for our other version of ourselves, and we like lose all our memories. So that's why we're like, some people have like past lives and all that. It's not a past life. It's just you did that last week, and now you're imprisoned in this body.
Almost like what was that old 80s TV show? I think it was a Quantum Leap, where every time he would jump into somebody, right? That was the right one.
Kind of some, and in a way, like there's even a part of the story that's something like that, like people who suddenly like shift personalities or like multiple personality disorder. It was just like, it was a fun way of like thinking of it from an alternate perspective.
Yeah.
And like framing it in a story. And like I want to write that one out further because I think there's some good legs on it, but I haven't gotten any further with it because I have so many other things I like to do.
Definitely. I always have a calendar. I have like, nobody can see it, but I have my desk here, and down here I have 4 notebooks and a binder, just to keep up like everything that I need to be done and doing.
I should do something like that, but I just try to keep it in my head and hope it sticks. It does.
I've given up. Like anytime that I feel like there's an idea, I'll grab any random piece of paper and just like write it down. It's this way without the store. We have sticky notes just all over the place.
Yeah, I use Google Docs a lot to track ideas, and then I forget about them, and then I go into my Google Docs, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot all about this.
Speaking of Post-its, that's what I have like all over my wall. Just Post-its. Not serial killer in any way, just Post-its of ideas.
And to go back to the whole inspiration thing, like, so something I've done too over the years, like I draw a lot of like just random characters, just like I doodle something up and it'll go to the side like, oh, this was fun. But some of them stick and I draw them over and over and over. And like, I'll start to form little like backstories in my head as I'm drawing them multiple times, like, oh, they have this accessory for this reason. And one thing I started to do was I liked all these characters, but I had nothing for them. And I started to like try to come up with individual stories for each of them. But instead I just used all that fun that I had already made up and put it all into one story.
There you go.
So drawing inspiration, not just from other things, but from things I'm doing too.
Mm-hmm. Just give yourself your own like ideas. Be like, oh, wait a minute. I did a thing. Now I need to make it another thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's I think, again, thinking about things from different perspectives.
Yeah, that's totally awesome. Welcome back, Kyle. Hey.
Nice to see you. Looking surly as ever.
I had to handle some business. I was going to try and hide it as much as possible, but Jarett knows and Jena knows. I'm actually coming to you live from a medical facility, and the doctor was just here, so I had to talk to them.
Needs to take care of yourself. Everybody. I want everybody to take care of themselves. I love doing this.
Don't wind up in a medical facility.
I'm sure they're wondering how you got out of the restraints again.
Oh. Wonder if a certain somebody ever sent you some nachos.
Don't say that too loud. Don't say that too loud. So, all right. So, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why didn't you show everybody the sexy ad on the back of The Weight of Gravity?
Oh.
I mean, I can. That one?
Yes.
Nice.
That's me.
And it matches, or it goes with the ad on the back of Super Angela that I didn't write this one. I drew it though. Shauna Shepard wrote it, and I did the cover, but it's pretty.
It's so pretty.
I like pretty.
My store has been on the back of 2 of Jarett's books.
That's true. What did you have anything in the Get in the Game anthology?
No. Pat wouldn't let me.
Oh, okay.
Because I made too much fun of him.
I thought that was the base of all good friendships.
Oh, it is. But if you call someone Jolly Green Giant in public too many times, they don't let you put advertising in their books.
I grew up getting called Jolly Green Giant. I was taller than everyone growing up, so I got called that a lot.
That's the name of my brother-in-law. He has to bend down to get through doors. We call him the Big Green Giant, and his son is a little sprout.
Nice.
It was funny. He showed up to my wedding with a big green bow tie, and we were like, "It's perfect."
My goodness. Jarett, I don't know if you guys talked about it. I didn't hear. Did you have anything in the new book that Dave just put out?
No, I didn't. I was going to. I had a couple of things. I had one story that I kind of wanted to do, and then I lost it. And then I had another one I was going to do, and I just didn't get around to it in time. Like it was a busy time. Like he was putting that together through the busiest time I've ever been through at my day job. So it was a lot of just burnout for me and having a hard time finding the time to do anything other than what I just wanted to. And I didn't really want to write that story.
That's fair. I ask only because I assumed you did, and I haven't actually read my copy yet. So
no, I actually have I have it paneled out. I just never finished it. And it was going to be fun. The whole thing
was
a
backup story.
Huh?
Make it a backup story and wait too.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, the whole thing is this guy. Instead of catching COVID, this guy caught a demon arm. Like his arm, like it's all of a sudden like kind of possessed, and it starts to smell like rotten fish. And he tries different things to like take care of it, and like wrapping it in Saran wrap, or just wearing a couple of sweaters over it, and it never works. And he goes to a Halloween store looking for like a Bucky arm to put on it. And in the end, he just figures out if he just wears a mask and everyone else wears a mask, then they won't be affected by
it. Yes. How come I don't have that in my
how the Saran wrap?
Because I was too tired to do it. Like, and I feel like that's something I would actually try. Like, I'll just wrap this Saran wrapper on it. It'll be fine. You won't even notice.
Yeah. Just wrap it in foil, cut it off, and put it on the barbecue. You'll be fine.
Oh, and he tries to cut it off, but it just grows right back.
What?
Yeah, because it's a demon arm.
How rude.
Yeah, I need this now. This needs to be a book in my life.
It was tentatively titled Stank Arm just because I had nothing else.
I love that. That'd be so much fun to read. Oh my goodness. So I do have one more question. What was your favorite project that you've ever like worked on?
The Weight of Gravity. Seriously, like so. I had done the prequel to it for the Get in the Game anthology, and that was supposed to have gone into print before or in time for me to do a signing at Kyle's store. Except it kept getting delayed, and it got delayed one more time, and it was beyond that date. So I had like, what was it, 3-4 weeks. I found out I wasn't gonna have it in hand.
Something
So
like
I wrote, drew, and printed The Weight of Gravity #1 in 2.5 weeks.
Wow.
And I was so proud of how it turned out. I read through it now, and I still like. I'm proud of it. I did good work. And I told it. I started the story well. Like I think I did something really good, and it's been my favorite thing yet.
Good. Makes me glad. And we're planning plenty more.
What was that? You both were talking.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Well, I remember you talking to me during that process.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the birth of the hashtag Pat's book is late. You know, and it was, you know, like really going, oh, we have this signing, we planned this thing, what do we do? And Jarett's like, I got you. I got this book. And it was like, oh, okay, how do I help you? And it was, oh, we'll help with the print run or whatever. Okay, no problem, let's do it. And the speed that book, like, if I remember on Monday, they didn't exist in like physical format, and by Thursday you had them.
Yeah, it was a really quick turnaround.
It was
I drove up
like
to
that,
the printer to pick them up. Like soon as they were done, I raced up there, and I had them I think 3 or 4 days in advance. So my plan was to have it done in a week before, so that way I tried to have them done 2 weeks before. I got them done about a week. And figured that would be enough time for printing, and I was right, luckily.
Yeah, very luckily, because there's been quite some big stir-ups out there where people are like, we don't have things. Oopsie.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and it was right before everything. Well, no, it was end of 2019, so it was before.
Yeah.
Before the bad, just before the bad.
Before the bad hit the U.S., it was still the rest of the world, but before it hit us, I guess. Yeah. And that's just where it was like, okay, it's gonna work, yay!
Yeah, and I was
happy dance.
I'm really happy that I was able to get it out before all that too. Thinking about it.
Yeah. So are you planning like a lot more of that, or is it just gonna be like 1 or 2 issues?
I'm planning on continuing it as more of the short novel series with illustrations.
That's right. Yeah.
So there will be more. I love the characters that I've made too much, and I haven't even, like, the comic doesn't even get to some of my favorites, which are ones that I've pulled in from other things that I've done.
Yeah. So it's definitely like you're building up a universe here, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I like doing it. I wish I had more time and energy.
Oh, trust me, I think that's everybody's. Oh yeah. Yes. We all need more time. Just slow down for a minute.
Yeah.
Almost if she had like the speed of the Flash, we could slow down everything around you to just get time to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe take a little 9-minute power nap.
That would be lovely.
Yes, just 9-minute power nap, click. Sorry, we just watched Cruella last night, and that's got to be my favorite part of the movie. Was she would just like 9-minute power nap and then like go away. And I'm like, oh, I wish that worked in real life.
I have not seen that yet.
Oh, I have 17 nieces and nephews that come over throughout just like random times throughout the month. So it's like every other weekend I have at least a couple of the kids here. And it's like, oh, I wish I could just turn to them and be like, 9-minute power nap.
Yeah, I know we don't have that many. We don't ever have anybody here. We have our pets, and that's about it.
So, like, where are you located? Are you also in Ohio, like Kyle is?
Yeah, I'm just outside of Toledo in Holland.
Oh, okay. Because I'm in Houston.
Oh, lovely.
I'm on the north side of Houston, towards Spring and Oak Ridge in the Woodlands. So
yeah,
we get nonstop rain every day.
No thanks.
Because the area I'm at, it's all swamp. This used to be swampland that they filled in parts of it to do houses, and the swamp's trying to take it back.
Oh, Toledo was once originally swampland.
Yeah.
But it's not anymore. It's not trying to come back either.
You still get the rain from back when it was swamp, I guess.
Yeah, and now with how the climate's shifted, it feels swampy up here.
Mm.
I've been to Memphis before, and I remember how just thick and humid it was there, and how awful it was, and how happy I was to come home because it wasn't like that here. Now it's like that here.
Through the air.
Yeah, now it's like that here, and it's awful. Like, it's been like this for the last 2 months, and it's so thick you can taste the air, and it's just doesn't even feel like you're outside.
I'll give you some advice from living in it almost all my life: is you just learn to breathe in big gulps. You're like, tasty air.
I'm hydrated too.
It keeps our skin moist.
I came back into a weird part of this conversation.
Talking about humidity.
Okay.
Does that help?
It's not the heat, it's the gosh darn humidity.
Oh, gosh. It keeps us all young. And kind of strong.
At least I hope to continue looking young. On my way to living forever.
Well, I mean, you've got a pretty awesome collection behind you. If I do declare, that would be a Stay Puft 10-inch pop.
Yep, that is. There's a alien plushie in front of him and a Deathwing pop in front of him. Oh. There's an Illidan hanging out back there.
You, sir.
A Murky.
We have the same. So I have about 30 different 10-inch pops. I have the Stay Puft and I have the Toasted Stay Puft one.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
Nice. I don't have that many pops. I have some small. I do have the Dio from Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, okay.
That one's cool, but
this is what my wall looks around the entire room. I have a little over 1,000.
Yeah, I have some shelves right above my desk that are just lined with action figures.
Oh, that's dope. What's your favorite, like, is there a certain, like, type that you like to collect? Like, I see you have plenty of the Stormtrooper ones. Is there any, like,
I collect almost all the Star Wars 6-inch figures and from Hasbro, and then Marvel ones too, and then some offshoot ones like Spawn and Ninja Turtles, things I liked and grew up with.
There you go. Oh, those ones that we grew up with, though, are so expensive these days, though. Like, remember putting firecrackers or smoke bombs on them and just, like, trying to throw it? No?
No, I didn't want to hurt my toys.
Well, we didn't mean
Jena,
to.
Are you secretly Sid from Toy Story?
No. Okay. Let me set this up. So I'm the oldest of 6, and we grew up on a ranch with my cousins and with my grandparents, right? So we have this one part of it. It's over in the Sam Houston National Forest. One part of it is backed up right there, and we would have these wars where we would need to have grenades, and we would use smoke bombs for 4th of July, and our little figures were our bombs and our grenades that we would just throw at each other and take somebody's eye out.
That sounds awful.
I think.
And we were also on our 4-wheelers when we would throw the stuff at each other too. So it's just, good old country living.
Yeah,
I grew up with
Sid from Toy Story.
Parents who encouraged safety.
My family was all about, you need to take care of the animals. You need to feed water the horses. Don't let the chickens eat you. The tiny T-Rex little monsters. I don't care what anybody says. Chicken's delicious, and I'm never going to raise any more chickens ever again. They're the most evil creatures on this planet.
That's what I've heard.
They chase you when you're trying to...
Their words are otters.
Oh, I've heard otters.
Otters and geese are worse, but they're pretty bad. So, did you guys talk about...
Nope.
See, that's the ADHD right there.
Didn't do that.
3/4 of the way through a sentence and my brain just resets.
I just sit there on the edge of my seat, like, tell me what you want to say.
Oh, future projects. Is there anything you're working on?
Oh, we did talk about that, but to clue you in,
okay, well.
I'm working on a novel. I'm working on a novel follow-up to Weight of Gravity because I have more story than I can tell in a comic book, and I'm way faster at writing than drawing. But again, I'll plug this again. Every month I have a Patreon everybody can sign up for at patreon.com/thejarett, where you can sign up for as low as $6 for stickers, postcards, or prints.
I love stickers.
Here, I'll show some off. So,
oh no, I'm gonna be in trouble.
You can get some cool prints like this, or like these guys. I like Doctor Strange there, or Captain America. I do all kinds. So everybody gets to vote every month, and every month 3 characters get made into stickers, postcards, and prints, and they're all fun, and I love doing it because it's just good times.
I love stickers. Guess I have to go to Patreon and give you all the monies.
Okay.
All the monies.
Okay.
No, and
who needs money when you can have stickers?
one of the cool things that Jarett does is he's constantly posting pictures of his drawings on social media, and I mean, like, every night I feel like there's 2 or 3 different ones, and most of the times they're Star Wars.
That used to be the case. I will be honest, I don't post nearly as much as I used to. I just have a hard time doing it. Like once the pandemic hit and I stopped doing everything for like 6 months, I've had a harder time getting back into sharing as much. And that's just that I need to do it more. And that's really the hard part, is just getting back onto the hump of like constantly saying, oh, look what I'm doing.
Well, what he'll do is he'll post a thing and say, if you want this, you have to be on my Patreon.
That I have posted that stuff. Well, that's like the main stuff I do lately, because I haven't had a ton of free time. So my free time does usually go to creating that art, and I try to do more unique art than I usually would, or try to think a little bit more creatively than I might have just for something for me. So
right, but the end of that sentence was going to be people like me who are schmucks and keep forgetting to go subscribe to Jarett's Patreon, keep missing out on this really cool stuff. And so go over and subscribe to the Patreon so you don't have FOMO like I do all the time.
So I have to know, Kyle was telling me that you guys have actually known each other for a while. How did you guys like meet or, you know, become the friends or whatever it is that you guys are? How did this happen?
I started doing conventions and I met him at a convention.
Or is it Shauna's fault?
I think it's just the fault of me doing enough shows to where I started to just talk to everybody that is in our group. Like, I think in part it was a little bit of Dirk. It was a little bit of Shauna for sure. But like, I started to get to know like you and everybody, like Dave and all them, like everybody around the same time. Cause I just kept consistently doing shows for a little bit in the same area. So I kept seeing the same people. And eventually, like, I don't know how it happened. It just all of a sudden we were all friends.
Isn't that how friendship works, I guess?
Yeah, like I don't even remember how it started necessarily, other than it was vague, like I just said. Like,
it just happened.
Like that time was such a blur for me. Like it was so new, and I was so like over consumed constantly with how crappy my display was compared to anybody else's.
Aww.
And like I had no idea what I was doing, and I was like, for a guy who has years of like retail and sales experience, I sure had a hard time selling my own stuff. I still do. I just like to smile and let people look at my stuff.
Was it like one of those moments where it's like, oh man, that's my stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It used to
your
be,
stuff, I'll sell your stuff all day, but my stuff, I don't.
Yeah.
know.
It's now, on the other hand, I'm like, if you don't want to buy my stuff, something's wrong with you.
Which is a good attitude to have in everything.
I agree. Like, I think people need to be proud of their work. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to even be great or better than somebody else's. Just be proud of it.
Yeah, definitely. Kyle, you were saying something?
I'm trying to remember this whole thing for you. And I feel like Shauna introduced us when we were working on Super Angela. But I feel like it was almost immediately after that you were like boothing with us at conventions.
Yeah, it was pretty quick.
I don't feel like there was any time there like where it was.
I think maybe you had just asked, like you had some space and was like, hey, do you got you? Because I think it was me and Shauna the first time I boothed with you.
Sure.
No. I don't know.
I don't remember that. I remember us going to Wyandotte, Michigan.
Oh no. I had boothed once with Shauna. Just I don't know what I'm saying. Wyandotte?
Yeah, there was that. There was that at Fantasticon, maybe.
Maybe.
But we went to Wyandotte, Michigan, and it was like one of the most brutal shows I've ever done for a couple.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. We had a ton of space and nobody was there.
Aww.
Right, but then also there was a professional wrestling match at this convention, and I just remember that there were people there for the wrestling, but not for the convention.
Yeah,
so it was
like,
all happening in one place, and it just sort of like meshed together.
Kinda.
Yeah, because like half the room was tables, the other half was a wrestling ring with chairs being set up. Like the match wasn't going on during the show. It was like at the end of the show marked the start of the match.
Perfect. It sounds like so much fun. Oh my god.
But it was brutal, but we had so much fun.
Yeah.
Just goofing around. At this convention. I vividly remember that. And I remember you guys setting up like at a Fantasticon with me.
I've set up at a number of shows with you. I don't even know how many. You were always like, "Hey, I got some extra space. You want to come draw at it?" Yeah.
Right. So, needless to say, it bothers me that I don't remember that though.
I'm used to not remembering things well.
Well, it goes with age.
I think it comes with ADHD. Like,
yes.
like details are always a little fuzzier.
They can always be glossed over because the big picture is what's important, right?
Right.
Yeah, I totally get that. If you could go back in time, what would be some advice you would give like your younger self?
Be proud of the work you do. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. It really doesn't. Like,
there's always going to be haters.
Yeah. You just tell those people to shut up and get away.
Right? Because you need to be your biggest cheerleader.
Don't deal with garbage and realize that everything you do is from your unique perspective. It may suck in the grand scheme of things, and it may not be as good as somebody else's, but it doesn't mean it's not your unique perspective. And you should still be proud of it.
Nice. Would that be the same advice you would give of like people that are trying to like write and do art and like anything that they're trying to do? Is that like the same advice you give them?
Yeah, 100%. Like, just be proud of yourself. Like, you did a thing. You made something. You took something from here and put it there. Like,
yeah,
that is an accomplishment on its own. The next step is then, how do I make it better? You know, and better for you. Don't worry about being better for anyone else. Don't worry about making something that's better than artist XYZ or writer KLJ or whatever. I don't know why I'm picking random letters.
Those are the randomest letters.
I like them though. It's better than XYZ. That's what everybody else uses.
Zed's
not
dead.
In America. No one uses Zed.
What?
Zed's dead.
Not in America. No one uses Zed.
Yeah. Zed's dead, baby. I loved that game.
So Zed is actually dead because Rip Torn is dead, and he played Zed in Men in Black.
Oh yeah. I always think of Lollipop Chainsaw.
I was thinking of Pulp Fiction.
We all know a Zed from something.
Sure, I mean several references here, but
yeah. So
we've lost the plot.
We lost what?
Sean is right. Creating art is not easy. Always be proud.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I know I'm not better than a number of other artists out there, but I'm going to go on a little tangent here. So somebody I heard recently say, always try to be the best of whatever it is you're doing. And I completely 100% disagree with that. Don't try to be the best. Just try to be proud of the work you're doing. Like, if you constantly work at putting out work that you are proud of, you would show off, you're happy to show other people. I mean, you don't have to show other people, but if you're happy with the work you're doing, if you look at it and you say, this is reflective of who I am and it makes me happy, then you don't have to worry about being the best, because being your best is what's most important.
As long as you are always your best you, that's all you can ever ask for. That's all anybody can ever ask for.
That's what I was going to say. Somebody once told me you don't have to be the best at everything. You just have to be your best at everything.
Yeah.
So as long as you're improving over what you've done in the past.
Right. Even then, like, am I doing the best work that I can? Am I trying the hardest to make this something I am happy with?
Thanks, Dirk.
To answer awesome. Dirk's, wasn't Zed the villain in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? No, that's Zordon.
But so I actually get that. I get that a lot. People make fun of the way I spell color or the way I spell favorite or like roundabouts. When we get to them, they're rare around here. Or when I say the alphabet and they're like, you're an American, you're from America. And I'm like, I actually learned English from an Indian dude in Ireland. So maybe.
Well, you could also just say, I like it this way. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, why does everything have
to be... Right. I'm with Jarett on this.
I'm being my best.
But I can reinforce it. I could reinforce it for you. The Bare Naked Ladies did a new alphabet where most of the things that are A is for whatever are silent, where the first letter is silent. And they go, Z is for ZZ Top, which is, which is a band where everyone has a beard except the guy who's named Beard, who only has a mustache.
I feel so left out. I'm not part of the beard crew.
It's okay. I'm not part of the haired crew.
Well, y'all twinsies.
I only have hair right now because my barber retired. Like I Did you have any idea how hard it is to find a barber in COVID?
No, I do my own.
Yeah, I
face.
do my own.
See, I would, but I tend to take away more skin than hair.
Ooh.
You know,
I'm
I
not
just
good at it.
did it enough times to where I didn't aim for my face anymore.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
I will never
So-
know the hardships.
We've got just a couple minutes left here, Jarett. Do you have any conventions or anything coming up that you would like to promote and make other than the Patreon? And then we're going to promote the Patreon hardcore.
I have a convention coming up, Fountain City Fandemonium. It's
Ooh.
Friday, September 24th. I'll be putting more info out as it gets closer. I had to look it up because I didn't remember any of that.
Are you doing the show in Bryan at the library?
I think so. Yeah. I know. No.
Cool.
Yeah, no.
I don't know where
Maybe.
this one's. I don't know where this one is offhand. I don't know places and locations very well. I've done this one
All right.
before. The guy that's running it is Tyson. I don't know if you know if that's.
It's a thing.
Yes, that's the library show.
Then it's the
That
same one.
I think I'm going to be there too.
Yeah, because
We'll
you
talk. I got
do
an
that
idea.
one every year. Yeah, you do that one every year with me.
Make sure
Yeah.
you message me later so I can tell you what conditioner was good for the color of the hair.
Oh, I wrote it down.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
I'm very excited.
So
And
everybody,
it really helps.
everybody-
It really helps make it last forever.
I did it while we were live, but everybody should head over to patreon.com/the_Jarett.
Yeah, it's
and
it's cool
that's the
stuff.
thing. He sends you fun stickers every month. Like
Oh,
for not a lot of
sweet.
money, you get dope stickers that you can stick on your laptop or other people's clothing or
Or
your
like I do
enemies'
with
cars
Jeffrey.
if you really want to be a jerk about it and lose your
I mean,
sticker.
it's not a jerk to put my art on anything. You could if you stick my art on something, it instantly increases in value. Instantly, I would pay at least $1 more than retail value for that.
Oh, snap.
Yes. So, yes. So head over to the Kickstarter for, like, I'll just tell you, I backed for $10 a month, and I get stickers and postcards.
Mhm. They're pretty great.
So
I'm
now
very
I have a reason to send. I have a reason to send letters with Jared's fancy postcards
Oh, you
if
don't
I
keep,
want
you
to,
gotta
or I
keep
can
them.
just pin them up in the studio. And
they actually are
I get
postcards on the
stickers.
back, and I do like on the back. I print them all myself, and so on the back I do the postcard print, like stuff. But I also do like a transparent line work of one of my art things that I just pick at random. So that's fun. It's double art.
So, thank you to Jarett for being here with us on our 6th-month anniversary, for kicking off the day, for being one of my besties in this game, and for helping us out. So, everybody head over and back to Patreon. We are going to be back momentarily with Austin McKinley and Dirk Manning of Tales of Mystery. Tales of Mystery Volume 5 is coming out soon, but also other things. So we're going to talk to them about the other things. So we'll be back in just a minute here on The Experience. I really should have written down what I was going to say to segue. Now I'm kidding. Help!